Hello, this is Thomas, K4SWL. If you're new here, I like to do real-time, real-life amateur radio field activation videos. And today, I'm back at Zebulon Vance, birthplace, once again. Probably only one more time this spring, I'll be able to make it out here. I've got one more session where I'm picking up my daughters from a class they're taking, and it's nearby here. And then I'll probably be saying goodbye to Zebulon Vance for a little bit, because even though I only live, as the crow flies, maybe 4 miles from here, it's about a 45-minute drive in a direction I don't normally drive. So I don't know how often I'll be making it back out here, but I'm gonna miss it. I do love the convenience of this, and it's such a peaceful site for being in a neighborhood, and kind of a less rural. It's actually in a rural site, but it's closer to other houses and stuff than a lot of the other parks I go to. But park staff here are just super nice, and I even asked for permission today to keep my car a little bit closer because I just finished doing a video comparing a couple of antennas that's probably been published now for quite a bit. Today is May the 2nd, and 2023, and I'm already starting to think about the Dayton Hamvention. Probably by the time this video's out, it's going to be during or just after Hamvention, and I'm really looking forward to going. I'm trying to get things ready now. And in fact, if you're at Hamvention, if it hasn't happened already, I will be at the Ham Radio Workbench table off and on throughout Hamvention. So come by and say hi. That'd be kind of fun to do that. Today, I've got a lot of new stuff to use, and I can't wait to do it. Let's talk about it here real quick. Let me get this sit down here. As with all my videos, of course, none of this has been prepared in advance, so it should be interesting. This may not look like anything new if you have been around for a while, but I promise you it is. This is my, I actually have two Yaesu FT-817s. I bought one, I think in 2020 from a friend, and because I owned one right after they came out and sold it in order to buy another radio, I think around 2010 or so. I think I sold mine to buy KX1 way back when. Bought another one in 2020 and then just fell in love with this radio because of the way I like to operate. I really do love this radio. So I have two 817s. How did the second one come around? Well, I was just made an offer I couldn't refuse, and I thought about getting a second one for doing full duplex satellite work, and I bought it. But what I've ended up doing, I still will do full duplex, I promise that. But what I ended up doing was actually just taking the second one and I put it in the Armorlock TPA pack frame system to explore the world of maybe rapid deployment FT-817 work. Then in December, I'd always had it in my mind to buy an FT-818ND. And in December of 2020, toward the end of December, Yaesu announced they were doing away with the 818. And the moment I heard that, I thought, I'm just going to go ahead and buy one now, because what I planned to do was buy an 818 so that I could have the TXCO inside, because neither of my other radios have the TXCO. And then I was going to put my narrow CW filter in the 818 and then sell or do something with my extra FT-817ND. Since then, I actually haven't done that. I think a lot of it is just because I love this radio so much, I don't mind having a spare. But I've had the 818 for a long time now, but I only recently unboxed the thing. I did just this weekend, actually, so probably like April 30th is the day I did it. That I took the 818 out of the box because I had a lot of things I wanted to do to it, and I was waiting for all the components to arrive. And I decided, I really need to take this out of the box and get it going, because I wanted my 818 to be my main HF radio that I take out to the field in that Yaesu line. And then the extra FT-817s will be used for the one FT-817 right now, since I have 3 of them, and I probably will keep 3 for a while. It's just hard for me to part with. That extra one is probably going to be just a permanent part of that full duplex satellite thing. And then I'll probably move this one in and out of it as well, because you need 2 817s or 818s to do it. So this is actually the Yaesu FT-818ND. I have only made one contact with this radio when I put everything on it just 2 days ago. So I've only made one contact with it so far, and that was just hunting a park right after I hooked up everything, put the filter in, and did all that stuff to it. I took the portable zero rails off of my 817ND and moved it to this radio, since I really, really like the portable rails on this. I did some other things too. I put on one of the WindCamp Anderson power pole connector plates here on the back, so I'm not using just that small barrel connector that Yaesu uses on this radio. I did put this on here, though I don't think I'll be using it a ton, to be honest. It does, and I think I heard, who was it on YouTube? I heard maybe it was K8MRD, I can't remember, said that he didn't really care for these because they put the bracket, the power poles, at kind of an awkward angle, and that is true, especially if you're using the key port and this back PL259. You just don't want like a super thick cable going into this. You want to use something more appropriately sized for a QRP radio that's flexible, that you can bring it out. But still, I still like having Anderson power poles, because everything on all the gear I convert over to Anderson power poles. I'm about to do that with my FT-891 as well, and just build in an Anderson power pole in it. So I opened up the radio, put my narrow CW filter in here, the one I bought ages ago from WG0AT, good old Steve, and it's a 500 hertz filter. Oh yes, and I also put in this WindCamp lithium ion battery pack, and so this battery pack is, the battery that comes with the FT-817, it comes with a AA holder, so you can put AA's in here and run the radio, and it also comes with a nickel metal hydride pack. Back when this was introduced in 2000 or 2001, that was just revolutionary. And I remember when I bought from the very first production run of the 817, I just thought that just kind of blew my mind, that a radio could be this small and actually have a little battery pack in it. But the battery pack, the nickel metal hydride pack, I find that it can get me through an activation or two if they're not super long. It only gives you 2.5 watts out, which is not an issue for me at all. I've done it both CW and SSB with 2.5 watts out doing SOTA activations and had crazy success with that, so it doesn't really bother me. But it takes like ages to charge. It may take more than 12 hours, I can't remember. It's a really long time to charge that battery. And yeah, so I just decided to give this one a go. The other two just have the normal nickel metal hydride pack in them, but I decided for this one that I would put in the lithium ion pack from WindCamp, and these are about roughly $60. The negative is you really do have this on and off switch, which I like because you can actually turn off the power and there's not going to be any drain on the battery at all, which is another kind of a negative with the 817, is I think there's a little teeny bit of drain on the battery when it's in resting position. But you do have to use a specific charger for this. There's actually a battery management system or a charger controller that's underneath this plate that you put in, and then the lithium ion pack is over here. And so you do have to feed that directly. You can't use 12 volts or 13.8 volts in order to charge this pack. So you really want to sort of turn this battery pack off when you're not using it and turn it on when you are using it. And you can't charge from the back on this. Sort of a third-party thing that you can do to these radios. So I haven't used this yet. My buddy Eric, WD8RIF, was just asking me yesterday if I use this. He's considering buying one of these, and he really wants to know if it lasts as long as we think it may, and he wants to see how much the voltage drops. So I'm going to try to remember to have the voltage indication here on the front display. I did forget to bring my keyer out, my memory keyer. I forgot to bring that one out today, so I will be kind of hand electric keying all of the stuff that I'm doing today. I'm probably going to be on the air about an hour, something like that. So not a super, super long time, but long enough to make some contacts and have a good time. Now, there's something else new that I'm using. Well, there's actually one really quick thing. I've started using these Rite in the Rain notebooks, and I'm very, very pleased with these. They're a little pricey, but as I mentioned in my last activation video, I think they're worth it for me. And I got Rite in the Rain pens instead of using a pencil. I'm doing this for you guys to make this a little easier to see what I'm writing on here. Now, if I wasn't doing a video, this would all be just lead. Just be, using my mechanical pencils. I prefer using a mechanical pencil. But I find that it's not as easy to erase on these pads anyway. So I don't mind using the pen. And this is a Rite in the Rain pen. These are kind of unique in that they will write in the rain, of course. So if this is wet, you can still write away and it works fine. The cartridge that's inside is replaceable, which is one of the things I really like about this. And it's just a dark black. And it's under pressure. So you can actually write vertically with this if you want to, and you're not going to have any issues with the ink drying up on you as you're doing it, you know, as you do with a normal pen. So this will write upside down. These would write in space if you wanted them to, because the little cartridges are under pressure. So, and these are all manufactured, I think, in the United States from Rite in the Rain. I really like the Rite in the Rain company a lot. Another new thing, and this is the really big one that I haven't tested at all, is this Chelegance CS-818 QRP tuner. This is an ATU designed by Chelegance, and Jesse with Chelegance reached out to me a couple weeks ago and he said, hey, would you be interested in checking this tuner out? And I now trust them because I've used their MC750 quite a lot and really love that antenna, love the quality of it. So I said, sure, let me give it a go. So he sent this to me at no cost to evaluate. I don't know if he'll want this back or not, but it's designed to integrate directly with the FT-817 and 818, but I think it can work, you know, with any radio. I need to read some of the extra instructions on it, but I believe so. I have not used this one bit. The only thing I've done is charge it up, because it actually has a port on it. It has a charge port right here that's a USB-C charge port, which I really like. You can also give it 13.8 volts in, and it has this accessory port, and then it has an antenna and a TX port, which is what you would expect with an ATU. Now, these are SO239s on here, so they want a PL259. I'm not as crazy about those. I don't use those a whole lot anymore, but I think I brought all the appropriate adapters so that we can run this just fine. And I think probably the reason they do that is because the FT-818 and 817 have an SO239 on the back. So yeah, but of course you could use the BNC on the front. Now, I don't know which one I'll be using today. Probably the BNC on the front into this, because I think I've got at least one of these adapters that I can use. So yeah, looking forward to it. But I don't edit my videos, and on a day like today where I'm testing a new piece of gear, that's an important thing to know, because I'm probably going to fumble with this a bit. The only instructions I really have are what's printed on the top of the ATU here about how to operate the radio with this antenna tuner. So you may want to skip over that part, because that's probably going to be a little boring as I figure my way around this, but we'll see. Should be charged up and ready to go. I don't need to add any external power to this. Right now, all we need to do is go ahead and deploy the antenna. Now, I will tell you that I have, before I started my video, I did string out my coax line and out here. And this is what goes with the Chameleon MPAS system. And I'm going to put the MPAS 2.0 up today. And why, I don't know. Actually, it's a very windy day, so this will be a pretty nice gusty day to show just how it can hold up to some wind gusts and stuff. And I'll show you how to deploy it really quickly. I haven't used the 2.0 in a while, and I think that's the reason why I brought it out with me today. In fact, it's been ages. It's been months and months, because I tend to use the MPAS Lite. But I thought that the MPAS system would be a great way to test this antenna tuner, so that's the reason we have it. Let's get this set up and hop on the air. Make sure the excuse me, let me make sure you can see everything here. This is probably going to be hard to see from this distance, but oh well. There are all the pieces to the MPAS 2.0 system right here. Okay, got that part done. Now let's try to put this camera up here, and we'll connect up the rest of this to the system here. Here we go. That antenna, every time I do the 2.0, it reminds me why I like the MPAS Lite. I kind of like the 2.0 because it's just kind of it being that olive green color, it just disappears, even though it's a really tall antenna. It's a tall vertical. But those tent pole sections do take a little bit longer than the MPAS Lite, where you just, extend the stainless steel whip. There's a little bit of a difference there. So let's grab the end of the line here. This is going to go into the ATU. So this goes to the antenna port right here. So I've got a PL-259, which makes this easy, but this is something to remember. I have to admit, I pretty much don't use PL-259s in the field very often anymore. So you do have to kind of keep some adapters around, and I've got some adapters if I need them. There is also this cable which I need to hook up, and this goes into the accessory port on the back of the radio. I believe it's the accessory, right? Because it wouldn't be in the yeah, on the radio TX jack on the connecting antenna. Yeah, connecting interface with the radio and the ACC jacks. Yep. So just plug this in, then plug this in here. And now we need to connect the, oh, I know where I put that antenna, but I need to connect the ATU to the radio. And we will use the back port on the radio, I believe. No, we're going to use the front one. We'll use the BNC. That'll save me from having to put yet another adapter on here. Here we go. That's what I've done. A very kind reader actually sent me this as a BNC to PL-259 adapter. And it does come in handy for things like this. I so rarely need it, but it's a nice high quality adapter. And we'll plug this into the front of the radio, because why not? This is what I love about the FT-817 series, is that you have two separate antenna ports you can use if you want to. Now let's set down here real quick. Sorry, I've got a little bit of allergies going on today. Okay. Try to move this so that it's not in the way too much here. And let's see what it says to do. Turn off your radio before plugging and unplugging anything. Done that. Connect the antenna jack of the radio to the TX jack on the CS-818. Connect the antenna to the antenna jack. Yep. And then connect the interface cable between the radio and the CS-818, turn on the FT-817-818 and change the cat rate. So we're going to turn this on. Oh, I need to tell, oh yes, this reminds me of one other thing my buddy Eric pointed out. Well, I never finished talking about this. This WindCamp, you can see here on the WindCamp battery compartment, if you happen to have the same portable zero bail and side rail system, when this lowers, it does lower right to where that power switch is on the WindCamp. And you can't see it from here. It barely touches it, and you really have to press it to have it push down on it at all. I don't think it's much of an issue. I will probably, however, use some of the little rubber feet or silicone feet that came with the WindCamp and put them here just to make sure that when this is folded down, it's not going to press against that power button. But I need to switch that to on to use the radio. Here we go. Got wires going everywhere, but I've also got to plug in a key. Let's do that real quick. Oh, but let's change the cat rate. So go to, it tells here exactly where that is. It's on number 14 in the menu. Cat rate, change it to 38,400. There we go. And just press and hold that, and we're done with that. That's nice. And now I'll turn on the ATU. This is powering up, and I'm hoping things are just automatic. I've got to be honest, I really don't know. Excuse me. I told you, allergy season is in like full swing right now. Not the easiest days to be photoing because of that. On top of it, I'm doing allergy shots right now, and those allergy shots do have an effect as well. I think overall it's helping me, but I'm not so sure it's helping me during allergy season. Okay, this is just for the key. Make sure that's plugged in. There we go. Put this down here. Put this in here. Okay. We're going to experiment first. It's showing a high SWR. I think I just pressed tune. Okay, how do we do this? I've got it hooked up right. That's the TX. Oh, I know what it is. Oh my goodness, that's embarrassing. I gotta change the antenna to front. You didn't see that happen. Okay, now we're in business. You did not see that happen. Let's just forget this part of the video. This is why I should edit my videos. Okay, saying no signal. Why is it saying no signal? I wonder if I have to switch this to straight key mode. Let's check this out. I can't remember if you can do this on... That's it. It needs to be in straight key mode. Succeed. Power 6 watts is exactly what it's supposed to have, an SWR of 1.1 or 1.1 to 1. Excellent. I like this display. It's an OLED display, so that's what it needs. It needs a continuous signal in order to do the tune. So you'll have to switch on and off the keyer to do that. No big deal. Actually, I kind of like that because I don't like an antenna tuner just kicking in and you know, doing its own thing without my having any control over it. Okay, mode, auto. I'm just looking through some of the menu options here. Minimum power, stop, reset, no. There we go. Okay, now let's move up to, I wonder if we should try to work the 20-meter band. Is there anybody there? Okay, I'm hearing the electric fence noise. Let me see if, I think there's a noise blanker on here. Here we go. I can still hear it a little bit in there, but the noise blanker pretty much got rid of that. Well, I'm not hearing a lot on 30 meters. That's a little scary. How about 40 or 20 meters? Yeah, I'm hearing people on 20 meters. It's a little more encouraging. Let's listen here for just a little bit. And I'll go in here and turn on. It's kind of funny. I've always said that the 817, 818, and a lot of Yaesu radios, they don't have the best, turn the keyer back on, they don't have the best user interface because they're trying to fit a lot into this little tiny space here, so you have these stacked menu items and things like that. But after you get used to it, it's really not a big deal. Okay, so I've got voltage showing up here, which is what I want for Eric, because he wants to see this. And I got the keyer turned back on. Oh, I was going to go here to narrow, so I can turn off narrow and turn it back on. So we'll see if there's anybody really close by. It doesn't sound like there's anybody super close by. I'll go ahead and set up my logs on the side. Yeah, good. I'm picking up some stuff. Okay, I need to turn the keyer back off, though. Which way is the keyer? There it is. So it keys automatically when I give it a straight signal like that. 1.1 to 1. Excellent. So just in case you're thinking that's too close, it's actually not that close. I'll probably keep that in, that's probably someone around 1461, 061. Clear off my logs here. Maybe there is somebody there, though. Let's clear out my logs, get this set up. Delete selected records, yes. Okay. Now I go in here, band 20 meters CW. Sorry, I'm setting this up on the side. This is just my Surface Go laptop with AC log running in 3FJP. K6856. So basically that's all set up now. I like using this over hammers in a sense because one of the things I really like is the files. I can put the files in a folder and I can get access to those files very easily to move them around and stuff. The negative with hammers that I've found out recently is when you need to do an export, you really have to do it one file at a time. There's no way to bulk export files out. And right now I really do want to take all the files that are in my phone and put them somewhere else, and that means I have to go through one by one individually, scrolling through and losing my place scrolling each time, and it's just a little frustrating. It'll take me a long time to do it. Evidently it doesn't store it in at least on the iOS system, it stores it in its own database, so that's not backed up on iCloud and everything, I don't think. If you know of a way to bulk export things out of hammers, let me know. But the great thing about N3FJP is it keeps discrete files, and you can choose the folder and everything for that, so that's really nice. I find entries just pretty quick too when I'm using a keyboard. Of course, hammers would be pretty quick on this too. And it may be that hammers on Windows and Android OS, that you can get to those files. I don't know, you just can't do it on iOS. Okay, let's see here. The time, so I'm going to put Zebulon Vance. And it's K40, oh no, 60, what is it, 6856. Now I did announce myself early, so I should be out there, 02 April 2023, and this is the FT-818 MPAS 2.0, and we're starting on 20 meters CW, and it is 16 here. So I can see here the SWR and the power at all times, the power output. But you may not be able to see this on the video very well. I'm not sure. I may try to put this up on this box or something so you can see it a little bit better. Do I have a battery or something I can prop this up on? Oh, I know what I can prop it on. Let's see. Prop it on this. This should work. This is just a little pack I use for my T1 antenna tuner. You should be able to see there now very nicely. Very good. And the only other thing I need to do, and I may pause the video for this, I need to hook this camera up to an external battery. I'll be right back. Let's get to work here. I've taken so much time talking about antennas and stuff. We need to actually do some things. So again, if I'd have brought my memory keyer, we wouldn't be doing this by hand, but I'm trying to change the side tone just a little bit. Where is the side tone? Is it up here? I forget. Maybe it's fine. Side tone. There we go. Let's make it just a little bit louder. Just for you guys, really. There we go. I gotta try to stop sending BK as a pro sign. I'm bad about doing that. It's actually just an abbreviation. Oh, wait. The reason why WD4DAN was kind of low is because he's in Georgia, and Georgia is really difficult for 20 meters. I'm surprised if you could hear him even. I was looking to see, I couldn't remember if there's a preamp on here. While we were looking at, see, this isn't set up. This is a, no, it's just an attenuation. I'm carefully watching the voltage because I'm using the battery. The SWR is staying solid and the power output's going down slightly as the voltage goes down. It's at 5.6 watts right now. Technically I like 5 watts to be my starting point, but I do want to see how this reacts when you're running it at full power. The FT-818 doesn't have distinct, you can't go like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 watts or something. I do love the display on this though. I've got to say that's really, really nice, having the SWR, the power output, and a battery indicator for the internal charged battery. And obviously the bands are bad today. They've been kind of bad lately, but obviously they are today. We may move down to 30 and 40. Let's go ahead and move down. I want an excuse anyway to try to tune this radio, so I'm not hearing anything down here, so this could be dead as a doornail. But at least we'll know if it tunes. It's nice and quiet. Okay, so I need to go in here and tell it to do... Oh, I can leave that on wide open actually because... Whoops, what am I doing? This is the one negative with the 818, 817 is if you don't have the menu open and you move this, it'll do coarse tuning adjustments. Okay, let's go back to key, turn off the keyer. TX error. Why is there a TX error here? Excuse me. I've got it within the 30-meter band. Did I do something wrong here? Let's see. Full break-in here. There's a reason it's doing this. I just don't know what that is yet. It's not on split. Sometimes if it's on split and you're off frequency, that can cause it. There's a reason, I just don't know what it is. You've probably already figured it out back home. Huh. I know it's on the right antenna because the antenna does not change with the, when you change bands. It stays, if you've got it on the front antenna, it's going to stay on the front antenna. If it's got the back antenna, it's on front. This is all plugged in. It's hooked up. There's no reason why it shouldn't go. Does it change anywhere? Okay, let's try going down to the 40-meter band where we were before. That works. Okay, let's move up. I'll have to figure out why 30 is not working. There's got to be a reason for that. Okay, wait, is that S? And I need to tune, and I don't want to tune up on. Okay, I've got to go in here and turn that off again. wonder if it's not set up for the 30-meter band for some reason. I just need to open that up somewhere in the menu settings, and I'll have to find that out later. Sorry, I've got that still on my mind here. Oh, got to turn on the keyer. There we go. We'll cheat and put down his park number first, because I can look on the spots page here on my phone and get all that information. Give me his park number down. Oh, thank you. Very kind of you. Said big fan. Very kind of them. Okay, let's move down here. See if anybody's on 6.2. And we'll start calling next door. You know, go to 6.1.5 just in case he has a whitish filter. I'm going to really quickly check the POTA spots just to make sure nobody else is on that same frequency. But no, I don't think so. And I'm going to get a drink of water really quickly. The negative about using this water bladder, which I really just use for backpacking, but I happen to have it in the car, is I can't open this up and drink it and set it up. If I just set it on the table without closing it back up, then all the water spills out. There we go. Otherwise, I do love this thing for backpacking. It's awesome. Okay, let's put this back over here. Let's get to work. Okay. If it's slow down here on the 40-meter band, I'll go up and hunt some before we hop off here. I'll need to hop off within 30 minutes. Ooh, let me take some photos while I'm thinking about it. Move this box so it's not in my photos. You would never know it watching me, but I'm actually picky about my photos to a degree. I like to keep in mind what I'm doing where. There we go. I'm going to respot myself right now because I'm not seeing it doing it for some reason. So 70, 61.5. No, 40 meters. CW. I'm going to point up here to show that I did that one on 40 meters too, that park to park. It doesn't really matter because I use the electronic logs when I submit them, and that was correct. Was it correct? It wasn't? Oh, yes, it was. No, it wasn't. Let me fix that right now. Holy cow. 40 meters. There we go. Fine. Thank you for reminding me. And I have this set up for 30 meters. There we go. I think the bands are just dead today. Oh boy. Did they just go away? This is not a good sign for the bands today. Oh man, is Brian having a hard time hearing me too? Man, the band is trash today. Oh, come on. This is so bad. Got him. Got him. Thanks for sticking with me, Brian. 229. Okay, at least I've got my 10 now. Thank you, KU3X and Brian, for hanging in there with me. Another QRPer. And we'll move up to the 20 meter band again. And we're going to try to, let me see if I can just tune up here. Okay, I'm way off there frequency. Let me move sort of toward the middle of the band. Move kind of off frequency here a little bit. Okay. Turn our keyer back on. Now let's see who I can hunt. Now I noticed something. The ribbon, or the RBN, whoops, didn't mean to do that. I don't need to see that. The RBN just showed me at 22 dB, but it only picked me up again here recently. It hadn't been spotting me this whole time. 68. Let's see if I can hear Maine at 68. That's a good sign. Gotcha. Yes. Excellent. Okay. Okay. Thank you for the park to park. Let's see if there's another park to park here I can chase. $58.1. Excuse me. We'll do a little hunting and then I'm going to pack up. I've got to run into town. I really don't have much time. This will probably be the last park I do here. Okay, so got him. Now I'm going to turn this off. I've done everything I need to do right now. I've got my activation done with a total of 12 and quite a few park to parks actually. 1, 2, 3, not too bad park to parks. If I had more time I would chase more, but I'm looking at my time now and I realize I've got an hour and a half to pick up my daughters, but in that time I have to go into Asheville and run 2 errands. And then run back out here, and that's only going to allow me just enough time to do that. So I need to think ahead. Anyway, very pleased with the antenna. I haven't put this guy up in quite a while, so this was kind of fun doing this. I do like the MPAS 2.0. The one thing that you can do with this, I mean, it's kind of a really sturdy looking antenna. The one thing you can do with it is that top section, if you're doing like SOTA, if you're on a Summit, you can just put that one top section on there and hook it straight up to the Hybrid Mini. And this packs away really small in your backpack, and you can operate like 20 meters and up if you have an ATU. I have done that once, I believe, and it worked fine. I don't think you can really work those lower bands though. Very pleased with it. And let's talk really quickly about the ATU and take a little closer look at it here before I hop off. First of all, I love the fact. So this is a little bigger than I normally take with me. My T1 antenna tuner is in this pack, and it's like, you know, it's smaller than this, lighter weight. It's actually fairly lightweight, to be honest. Really nice chassis. This is a really solid chassis. I'm not too worried about the front buttons being hurt on it or anything like that. I don't even know all the capabilities of this yet. When I'm at home, I'll go through all the menu settings. I'll probably try to communicate with Jesse and see if there's another manual for this. But it's kind of nice that they actually put the manual basically here on the top, the quick reference manual. I like that. And I love the fact it shows the SWR and power meter at the same time on the front. Really, really like that. And it's kind of cool that you can interface it directly with the Yaesu so that when you turn off the keyer and just do a straight key, then you can go ahead and tune this up without having to hit anything on here. One thing I'm not a big fan of with my MAT tuner, what's it called? The MAT 705 Plus, I believe, that goes with my IC 705, is that one of the default ways that you can tune that antenna tuner, and it may be more something that the ICOM does by default. By default, if you go outside where you've got a bad SWR, it'll just do a full tune-up cycle on you. So it'll key down and do a tune-up cycle. And I don't like that when I'm hunting, because I could inadvertently tune up on somebody and I can't move it or do anything with it. That really has more to do with the ICOM than anything else probably. Because you can turn it off, and that's what I did with my IC 705. I have it turned off where I kind of manually initiate a tuning cycle. I like this where it's more along the lines of an RF sensing thing. When you go too far out, it'll just tune up where you are, but it's only going to tune up as you're keying down. I really, really, really like that. And it obviously had no problem getting a 1-to-1 match on everything I did. I noticed that it was up to 1.2 the last station I hunted, but that's because I moved away, quite a bit of ways from where I initially did the tuning and the matching on this. So yeah, I like this. I love the fact it has an internal rechargeable battery, that it actually has a little battery indicator on here. That right there is awesome, because the MAT tuner that goes with my IC705 does not have a battery indicator. There is a really, really basic battery indicator with the Elecraft T1, but I like having this. If you're going to have a little OLED display like this, it's nice to have that on there. And it tells you it's online and everything's working. This actually has a little green LED around this, and I need to dig into the menu settings and learn more about this and how to use it with other radios. But also pleased with the battery. So far I've got 11.6 volts on the internal battery, still getting full output power according to the ATU's power meter. I really like that. I've got to figure out what's going on with 30 meters. I'm guessing that you have to set this up to open up 30 meters maybe. I don't know. I'll try to figure that out. Again, this has all the default settings on it basically, because I just have not used this radio yet. I only opened this up 2 days ago. And I'd only made one contact up until today. So thank you so much to all of these really cool hunters, because obviously the bands are absolutely in the trash today. We should have gotten a lot more action than we did, but the bands are just not in good shape today. And I could tell it just based on how K3ES came in, Brian came in and just disappeared. W4EMB came in very strong, could not hear me come back to him at all, probably because the band shifted. And I'm sure that's the same thing that happened with Brian, and Brian gave me a 229. And I could hear other stations that I gave a sort of a lower report, and then they came back up to an S9, which tells me that the bands are just very unstable. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. You just don't know how much I appreciate having someone come along with me on these activations. They're a lot of fun. even the slower ones from time to time are still a lot of fun to do. And it's just nice getting outside, getting some fresh air, because your radios like to go outside. They love the outdoors. And that's where you should take them. It's a great way to escape all the urban noise and everything, and just be outdoors and play a little radio. And POTA, as they say, is kind of like field day every day. It's just so much fun, and a really great excuse to get outside and play radio. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for all the support on Patreon and through the Coffee Club. Coffee Club. I really appreciate it. And if you get a chance, I always forget to ask this. Feel free to subscribe if you like this. If you have judgment that's poor enough to like these videos, then please subscribe, and also do a thumbs up. I never ask for that. I don't really care if my subscribership grows. I don't look at any of my YouTube stats. My mom actually is the one that tells me where my viewership is in terms of subscribers. I never look at that number ever. I just don't pay any attention to it. Usually I publish a video, and then I try to go in within a week and at least try to answer some of the comments, and I try to acknowledge all the comments. It's getting difficult to do because I'm getting so busy, but that's my extent of interacting with Facebook or with YouTube. I do not look at all at the suggestions that YouTube tells me to do, because frankly these videos aren't exactly normal YouTube videos, and I don't ever expect to be a mega popular YouTuber. That's not my goal. To me, the YouTube channel really supplements my blogging, which is on QRP.com. But I do like the community here, and I appreciate all of you. Again, thank you so much. I hope you get a chance to go out and play radios outdoors, and let's treat each other with kindness. And until next time, take care, and 7 3s.